right, welcome back to another episode of Fantasy with Man McMahon. Today, we are going to be looking at Game Week 17 for Fantasy Premier League, and let me tell you, we had to make some moves. We had to make some moves because, well, COVID. That's pretty much it. It's straight up not having a good time, and suspensions as well, because, Cancelo with his 5th yellow of the year last week, so moves had to be made. Had to do some transfer magic. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, transfer every this week out of necessity. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit last week. Last week went pretty well. Like, it could have gone a little bit better, but even then, like, it was a good week. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right. So before we talk about Game Week 17, let's do a quick little a recap of Game Week 16, and you know what? I'm like just straight up. I'm gonna put the team on screen right now, and you can see it went very well. In net, Ramsdale 11 points. Like, come on, how could you ask for more than that? Like, he put up 11 points. That is nasty. Absolute top tier keeper right there. Backline: Cancelo, Trent, and Laporte. Like 7-9-7. Come on. Livramento was a bit of a miss, but I wasn't expecting anything there. He was actually on my bench. Originally, the formation, well, cool. This is the gong show that happened last week, and it pales in comparison to this week. So last week, I wasn't making any transfers, but then, plot twist. The Tottenham match got postponed because of COVID, so I made last minute transfers. I brought in Vardy, and I brought in Saka. Now that gave me a -4 deduction, and then Vardy didn't even play. He was like starting. He was my main guy up front, along next to St. Maximin, and then he just didn't play. So Livramento was actually the first spot on my bench, so he subbed in. So yeah, and the tough part is, had I put in Janssen on the first slot, that would have been an extra 7 points. But you know, Janssen's first goal I think is in 2019, so I'm not beating myself up over missing that one. But it was close, just one spot away, but it was still a W of a week. Midfield, everybody except Jota, because Jota didn't start. He came in, and I don't remember what minute it was, but it was late in the game that he subbed on. But Saka, Mbeumo, Salah, and Bernardo all showed up. It was great. Like, 3 of my players blanked, and even then, like, it wasn't even that bad. It wasn't even that bad, because everybody else just made up for it. Everybody else did more than not blank. They showed up and showed out. It was fantastic. So, overall score, I put up 73 points, -4 deduction, brings me to 69. Nice. And yeah, it was a green arrow for this week, and I move on to round number 2 of the FPL Cup. I made it past my first round matchup, and I had a tough matchup. Because the guy that I went against at the start of the week, he was ranked 55,000. And for reference, I think at the start of the week, I was 550,000, so it's a bit of an upset, and I'm proud of myself. That was a big dub. That was a big W. All right, so, yeah, last week was great. And yeah, we'll see if we can replicate it amongst a whole lot of craziness going on right now. All right, so now that we talked about Game Week 16 and how it went well, let's talk about the squad that I'm rolling with for Game Week 17. And wow, I had to make 3 transfers, which, you know, it's not egregious, but it's way more than I would have liked to have ideally made no transfers this week, because I didn't want to make transfers last week, and I got sideswiped by COVID. But yeah, here we are, 3 transfers in. It's a bit stressful because, well, the first transfer the first 2 transfers were 2 Brentford players. I had to get rid of Janssen, and I had to get rid of Mbeumo because, I mean, that match is postponed. There's just straight up not having a match. Because on top of that, I also have Cancelo, who's suspended, and Livramento, who's questionable. So if you do the math there, that's 3 guaranteed players not playing, and then potentially another one not playing. So there's no room for error in terms of players not playing. I didn't want to risk that. So Janssen and Mbeumo out. Then also going out is St. Maximin. And that was more to make the funds work in terms of the transfers, but also because, you know, Newcastle plays Liverpool, so yeah, I don't think he's gonna do too well this week, but you never know. That's going out. We have Mbeumo, Janssen, and St. Maximin. And then coming in, we have Mark Gay, Connor Gallagher, and Emmanuel Dennis. So the reason that I've gone for Mark Gay is because A, cheap defender, it was only 0.1 more than Janssen. Gallagher has just been insane. He has been absolutely incredible. Like, that Chelsea midfield in the future, untouchable. And then, yeah, I wanted to bring in Emmanuel Dennis as a cheaper forward and a not too bad fixture. But the reason why I've gone for Palace players is, especially Mark on the defense, is that for Southampton, Che Adams out, and then Broja and Armstrong are questionable. That is like 90% of their attacking power is either out or questionable. So that, I like that option. So defensively solid, and Gallagher has been insane. He's been absolutely wild. And then, I mean, Southampton haven't been the strongest on the defensive side of the ball. They allowed 3 to Arsenal, so it could go well. It could go well, and I really needed to go well because I already have the -8 deduction, which I didn't really want to have in the first place. So those are the transfers. So let's take a look at the full team. In net, I am running with Sanchez. It was a bit of a toss-up for me because between Sanchez and Ramsdale, it's one of those things where I could see either of them losing the clean sheet or keeping the clean sheet. Because Sanchez, he's going up against Wolves. Wolves have not scored a goal since game week 12. Like, just shy of a month. They have not scored a goal since they beat West Ham 1-0. I think it was November the 20th. That is almost a month since Wolves have even scored a goal. And in that time, they've gone up against teams like Norwich. Like, they should have been scoring multiple goals. Yeah, not too good for Wolves fans right now. And then with Ramsdale, like, he's been on form. Like, he's been incredible. But it's West Ham. They have been incredible as well this year. And yeah, it would be tough. It's going to be tough. And like West Ham, they were held goalless last week by Burnley. But it's hard to look at that as anything other than an anomaly. Like, you can't imagine West Ham would show up the next week and then also be held goalless. Like, but if there was a keeper to do it right now, it would be Ramsdale. If he is the best keeper in the Prem right now. So it's a tough call, but I'm going with Wolves maintaining their struggle as opposed to West Ham continuing their struggle. That's what I'm banking on right now. We'll see if my opinion changes in the next few hours, because it very well could. So we have a back line right now of Livramento, Alexander-Arnold, Laporte, and Gay. I've gone for this just because, Livramento is questionable, but given my other options between Hwang and Saka, I mean, I'm leaning towards even swapping him in for Saka, but it's one of those things where Livramento probably isn't going to play, like, he might not play anyway, so it would just be an automatic substitution. But yeah, Saka, he did well. He picked up an assist last week, and like he's going up against West Ham, and they've been relatively solid defensively, like, against the majority of their opponents. Like, they've had a few lapses, but they've been pretty good. Liverpool, yeah, don't really say. It's Liverpool versus Newcastle. I am tripling up, and I have no issues with that. Like, maybe there's a chance like they try and get their big guns some rest, but I am a-okay taking that shot. I'd rather go with the safe, like with the more probable choice, and be wrong versus trying to play it risky and clever and just look like a fool. Laporte and Bernardo for City against Leeds. It's a great matchup. I really wanted to get either Foden or Sterling in, but I couldn't because I still have Cancelo, and to do that, I would have had to drop him. I already have 3 players. Unfortunately, one of them is suspended. We talked about Gay and Gallagher already. Looks good. Vardy against Tottenham should be decent, but that's even questionable, and that's all predicated that he even plays. Like, it's questionable, like, if Tottenham's defense shows up, but even if they don't show up, there's a question on whether or not Vardy even plays. And then finally, Emmanuel Dennis against Burnley. It should be good. Like, Burnley have been solid. Like, they were solid last week defensively, and they're playing at home. Like, Turf Moor is not an easy place to play. And the other issue is, the previous 2 times this year that I have targeted Burnley as a matchup, like, I am picking like these players because they're going against Burnley, it has always backfired. Last time I picked Everton players, and Burnley won that, I think 3-2, or it was a draw 3-3. Either way, it was a great result for Burnley, and I did not benefit from it at all. The last time I tried to target a Burnley fixture, I picked up Son, and then guess what? Snowstorm. So I'm a little bit wary of that, but I'm hoping Emmanuel Dennis can break my curse, and we'll see what happens. Yeah. And then on the bench, we have Ramsdale, Saka, Hwang, and Cancelo. This is the squad we're rocking with. Hopefully it pays off, because yeah, I already have 8 points as a deficit that I need to overcome. So here's hoping. Here is hoping. All right, so that about does it for me. Yeah, we'll see how this week goes, but hopefully it should be good. I believe in my players, but what I don't like is starting off at a -8, because even -4 is a bit dicey. -8 is very dicey. But if you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Yeah, hopefully your game week goes well as well, and if it doesn't, hopefully at least you get a decent result IRL. Hopefully we get some entertaining matches this week. It's always, the midweek always has a certain spice to it. Yeah, that is, yeah, FPL Cup round 2. This week I'm going up against somebody who appears to be AFK. They have not made a transfer since game week 5, but that might also work out well for them, because I've seen AFK teams put up bangers, and he doesn't, like, I'm already at a disadvantage, because if he doesn't make any transfers and I have 8 points, like, against me, well, that's advantage then. Yeah, not great, but we'll see. We shall see. And they're ranked like 5 millionth in the world right now, so it should be a dub. We'll see if that's the case. We shall see. Anyways, that's it for me. I'll see you next time. Have a good one, and peace.